Hundreds of people lined up outside the Q Center this morning to remember former Premier John Horgan.
He came to our daughter's graduation, comes to the Sioux Fall Fair and puts up tables. Just a great guy.
I've always found him to be a really accessible person, cared about his community, cared about the province, and a big loss to no longer have him with us.
We knew him well. He was the MC at my wedding, and he was a terrific guy in that context too. Like the personal John was a remarkable person who deserves celebration.
A celebration of life with Horgan's personality written all over it. From lacrosse players ushering in family, friends, and dignitaries, Star Trek memorabilia on display, and people from across the province gathered to share their stories.
John and I didn't talk a lot about spiritual stuff, but I have to say a gathering of thousands of the political elite of British Columbia in a lacrosse arena on a Sunday would be pretty close to his definition of heaven.
While many people talked about Horgan's time in office, some took the opportunity to share fond memories that they will remember forever. For NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, that is Horgan taking part in a traditional rally jump when he had a knee injury.
And he said, listen, I can't jump. I'm like, hey, don't worry. He's like, listen, my doctor tells me I got a couple things going on with my knee, my ankle. Like, I can't do the jump. I'm like, listen, John, just you showing up is huge. So it gets to that point. He comes on stage. He's really excited, and he starts jumping. And I'm like, John, what about your knee? He's like, don't worry about the knee. This moment is too amazing.
For the Prime Minister, it was their first meeting when Horgan spilled his water during a press conference and used it as the perfect setup to joke about the ENG pipeline.
Of course, not to be outdone, I said, no, people will clean that up, don't worry. And he turns to me with a smile and says something like, that is a federal area of responsibility. I gave up. That was John. Quick-witted, brilliant, but unflinching in his values and beliefs.
I miss you so much. I miss you so much. Now you're in God's hand.
But for family and close friends, it was a chance to share how much he meant to them.
And while he was any number of things to any number of people, to Nate and I, he was never anything more than just dad. And he was a good dad. He was the kind of dad who was at every hockey game and every band concert.
He was always true to who he was. Whether John, the Premier of BC, John, our colleague, our leader, our friend, our boss, our neighbor, or MLA, John was always John. He truly was the Premier's Premier, people's Premier, and we're all better off because he shared himself with all of us.
As we remember John from Langford forever.